Making headlines this hour. President Dr. Muiz successfully fulfills a key electoral campaign pledge, ensuring that the vital service of national identity card issuance is now fully accessible in all administrative atolls of the Maldives. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz affirms that there will be no restrictions in expressing opinions in accordance with the truth in the Maldives, urging citizens and media alike to uphold veracity and responsibility. And President Dr. Muiz declares that the relocation of Rakidu, Vav Atoll residents to another island will proceed only if 80% of its residents, including those living off-island, express their support for the move.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz successfully fulfills a key electoral campaign pledge, ensuring that the vital service of national identity card issuance is now fully accessible in all administrative atolls of the Maldives.
This nationwide rollout culminated with the official launch of services in Fulidu, Vav Atoll, marking a significant milestone in bringing essential government functions closer to the people. The final provincial ID card service, inaugurated by the Minister of Finance and Planning, Musa Zamir, in Fulidu, during President Dr. Muiz's ongoing tour of 4 atolls where he has personally observed and championed the expansion of essential government services. The journey of national identity documentation in the Maldives began on the 1st of May 1984. The transition to the computerization of citizenship cards in 2003 saw the introduction of plastic cards and the establishment of 174 collection centers nationwide, providing convenient access for citizens. However, in 2021, a pivotal shift occurred when the Department of National Registration, or DNR, moved to an online-only ID card application system, a measure necessitated by the global COVID-19 pandemic. This change inadvertently served the DNR's direct ties with local councils, forcing citizens to travel to the capital Male for all ID card-related services. This resulted in a significant loss of accessibility, prolonged delays, and a substantial backlog when the current government took office. A staggering 3,348 ID card applications remained unissued. Addressing this critical public grievance, President Dr. Muiz's administration swiftly moved to overhaul the system. They abolished the restrictive online-only application model and introduced Nares, a specialized portal allowing citizens to apply for ID cards directly through their respective island councils, vastly improving local accessibility. President Dr. Muiz had initially announced his ambitious plan during last year's Republic Day celebrations, pledging to establish ID card and passport services in all atolls by the end of this year. The project to expand ID card services to the people began in earnest on the 16th of November last year, with a comprehensive roadmap prepared for nationwide implementation. With the launch in Fulidu, President Dr. Muiz confirmed the full realization of this pledge. Beyond national borders, the government is also working to extend ID card services to Maldivian communities in key international locations, including Malaysia, Sri Lanka, India, and the United Kingdom. This comprehensive initiative, which brings essential services directly to citizens' doorsteps, underscores President Dr. Muiz's commitment to alleviating public suffering and prioritizing the convenience and well-being of every Maldivian.
President Dr. Mohamed Muiz affirms that there will be no restrictions in expressing opinions in accordance with the truth in the Maldives, urging citizens and media alike to uphold veracity and responsibility.
President Dr. Muiz referred to the new Maldives Media and Broadcasting Regulation Act to emphasize that while truthful expression is paramount, the spread of falsehoods and rumors aimed at creating discord will not be tolerated. He stressed that a united society built on dignity and mutual respect is essential for national stability. The president pointed out that speaking untruthfully, especially by politicians or media professionals, can undermine national peace, noting that spreading unchecked rumors is also forbidden forbidden in Islam. President Dr. Muiz underscored the collective responsibility of citizens to uphold the values and principles deeply rooted in the nation's Islamic identity. He stressed that enduring peace and national stability can only be achieved through intellectual cultivation and recognition of every individual's inherent dignity. In this regard, he firmly stated that Muslims must refrain from making false accusation against others. The president reiterated that the recently passed Maldives Media and Broadcasting Regulation Act encourages truthful reporting and responsible journalism. He clarified that law supports the dissemination of verifiable information but does not grant anyone the right to fabricate stories or spread unsubstantiated claims. Addressing concerns, President Muiz dismissed lies being circulated about the new act, particularly claims of social media bans, describing such misinformation as uncivilized, which assured the government would not permit to spread. He urged citizens to exercise discernment and form independent judgments rather than solely relying on prevailing public sentiment. He also reaffirmed his commitment to not influencing independent institutions or the judiciary, asserting that his government has put an end to the culture of political retaliation.
President Dr. Mohamed Muiz declares that the relocation of Rakidu VAV Atoll residents to another island will proceed only if 80% of its residents, including those living off-island, express their support for the move. The president received a warm welcome at Rakidu in as his fifth and final stop of VAV Atoll during the second day of his ongoing tour of 4 atolls. The president made the statement during the community meeting with Rakidu residents as part of his ongoing tour of 4 atolls, where proposals for the island's social development were discussed and the desire for relocation emerged as a primary concern. Many Rakidu residents submitted proposals to the president articulating their wish to move to a newly developed location closer to Male, specifically mentioning destinations like Ras Male, Gulifalu, or other areas near the capital. While not seeking an immediate move, residents emphasized the need for comfortable living arrangements in their new location. Acknowledging the clear sentiment for relocation, President Dr. Muiz assured them that if the move garnered sufficient support, the relocated populace would be provided with facilities and services, including accommodation and compensation for relocating populace. He clarified that this opinion would be sought from all Rakidu people, both those residing on the island and those living elsewhere. The president committed to conducting formal efforts to ascertain the community's definitive wishes for relocation. Addressing concerns about the island's fledgling tourism industry, President Muiz assured that the existing local tourism ventures, currently comprising 2 guest houses with additional land being allocated for development, would not face closure or disruption. In addition to relocation, some residents proposed dredging a nearby lagoon for habitation and highlighted the critical need for a robust transportation system. President Dr. Muiz responded by promising the establishment of an RTL ferry system for Rakidu by March next year. He noted that unlike other islands, a dedicated public opinion meeting was held in Rakidu specifically to gauge views on relocation, underscoring the unique nature of the situation. To coincide with President Dr. Muiz's visit, Bank of Maldives, or BML, has established self-service banking ATM services in Rakidu, which marks the completion of ATM services across all inhabited islands of VAV Atoll. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz announces a crucial land reclamation project for Keodu VAV Atoll to be included in next year's state budget. The president outlined a robust development agenda for Keodu aimed at realizing the aspirations of its people. He emphasized that the proposed dredging project, central to his promises to the residents, is related to the future of the island. The president confirmed plans to add 12 hectares of land, slated to begin early next year with priority in the 2026 budget. He added the government would also facilitate loan schemes for tourism and launch a USD ATM service in the island early next year. The president also announced that newly signed projects would accelerate the construction of a new school building and a modern health center. Further enhancing the island's amenities, the president pledged to develop the football ground and other sports facilities. He concluded by expressing optimism for meeting the residents again with these important projects well underway. The president, during the visit, witnessed the signing of the contract for the construction of a new building for the Keodu Health Center, a project poised to dramatically enhance healthcare services on the island.
Set to be developed on an expansive 17,180-acre area, the project encompasses a wide array of works, including excavation, concrete and tiling, installation of doors and windows, plastering, steelworks, hydraulics, drainage, electrical wiring, and the crucial implementation of medical gas, air conditioning, and fire extinguishing systems. The foundation stone for the new council secretariat building in Keodu was also officially laid, signifying a key step in the government's ambitious initiative to modernize local administrative infrastructure. This project is integral to a broader government commitment to construct more than 100 new island council buildings across the nation within the next 5 years, specifically targeting existing outdated facilities. To coincide with President Dr. Muiz's visit to the island, MTCC was awarded the contract for the construction of a new 4-story building for the Keodu School. This crucial project will address existing space constraints, introduce 11 new classrooms, a staff room, a computer lab, and a science lab to enhance educational facilities for Keodu students. As a vital part of the visit, President Muiz also met with the Keodu Island Council, the Women's Development Committee or WDC, and heads of local institutions to discuss the island's key development priorities. This trip is part of the President's initiative to tour all Maldivian atolls and engage directly with councils at the island, atoll, and city levels.
Residents of Felidu Vav Atoll anticipate significant land expansion as President Dr. Mohamed Muiz announces that a major dredging project for the island will commence early next year, fully integrated into the 2026 national budget.
The announcement came during a community meeting with the people of Felidu as part of his ongoing tour of 4 atolls, where the president addressed key development priorities for the island. President Dr. Muiz affirmed that the land reclamation in Felidu is a crucial promise made to the island's community. He clarified that while the project was initially intended for 2025, it was strategically postponed to prioritize the hospital development project on the island this year. Consequently, the land reclamation project has been elevated to the most important development initiative within next year's budget. Additionally, the president outlined several other key infrastructure developments for Felidu. He confirmed that the construction of a 4-story building featuring 14 classrooms for the local school is slated to begin this year, with administrative preparations already completed. Further enhancing community facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness and recreation facility is planned, designed as an indoor sports complex capable of hosting various sports activities in large areas, thus centralizing all sports amenities within the island. President Dr. Muiz also announced that as part of the government's policy to expand sea ambulance services in the atolls, Felidu will be equipped with a sustainable sea ambulance service, improving emergency medical response capabilities for the region. The president's visit marked a significant milestone in its healthcare development with the groundbreaking of the new atoll hospital building in Felidu. The comprehensive development includes a 7,147 square feet accommodation block, a 2,563 square feet service center, and a substantial 76,175 square feet health center block alongside extensive ground excavation, leveling, and finishing works. The construction of a new police station in Felidu also officially commenced with President Dr. Muiz in attendance. The event signifies a crucial step in strengthening law enforcement services within the island community. The foundation stone for the facility was laid by Commissioner of Police Ismail Naveen, with construction undertaken by MTCC. President Dr. Muiz took the time to meet with the Felidu Island Council, the Women's Development Committee or WDC, and heads of local institutions to discuss the island's key development priorities during his visit. This trip is part of the president's initiative to tour all Maldivian atolls and engage directly with councils at the island, atoll, and city levels.
We now bring you the call to prayer for Isha.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدًا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقامًا محمودًا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
गाँव में फतुरकम के दुगे प्रोग्राम का दायरा का मसके कुरा दिवहिन के वाहकता
ದುಸತುಗ ಹಿಫಾ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಕ್ಮ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ವರ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ವಾಂಡ್ ವರ ತಂತನ ದತುರು ಸ್ಕುರೆನ್ ವರ ಬ್ಯಾವರು ಮಿನಿಹುನ್ನ ದಿಮಾವಣ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗ್ರೋ ಅ ಲಾಟ್
ವಿದಾಯರ ವಾರುಗದ ಕೊದ್ದೇರೆ ದಿವೆಹಿಂ ಆಸ್ಗೆನ್ ದಿವೆಹಿನ್ನಶೆ ಮಿಕಂ ವಾಣಿ ದಿವೆಹಿ ಬಯಕು ಫೆಶಿ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕತೆ ಕೆ ಮಿಹೆಂವಿಮ මිමසෙක්කතයාගෙන් කුරියක් දානි දිවෙහි කුදින්නෙක්
අලුගුණුවෙන් උළුණු වරකුන් දිවෙහි රාජ්‍යයක පතුරුවරිකන් හුලාගෙන් දානය
ಒಮ್ಮೆ ತಲೆ ಬೆಳೆನಿನ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಿಯ ಕಮಗವಿಯ ಸ್ಕೆನಿಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಎನಿಂಗಕ ಎವುಳೆ ಜೊತೆ ಏಗ ಎಂದ
ಫತುರುವೆಹಿಂ ತಿನೆಂ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ಗೆ ಸಾದಗಡಿ ತಿರಿಹುಗ PSMC
Welcome back to our English news program. We now move on to international business. Wall Street's main indexes closes higher and also posted a weekly gain as FedEx rose after positive earnings.
The parcel delivery company popped after it reported quarterly profit and revenue above analyst estimates as cost-cutting and strength in domestic deliveries helped offset weaker international volumes. Apple rose following a price target raised from JP Morgan, while gains in Palantir Technologies and Oracle also drove the S&P 500 technology sector higher.
I think what we're seeing today in the NASDAQ is, it's accelerated as the day's gone on. And I think that's largely because of Trump's comments around TikTok that we're close to a deal. I don't know why the market reacts to this stuff the way it does so quickly and then will reverse itself tomorrow. I think it's the hedge funds, the algorithms. But as an investor, I've continued to remain long technology stocks. I think that is the place to be for some time. And so we're enjoying this run since the summer in tech names.
The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq notched their third straight week of gains, boosted by the Fed's first rate cut of 2025 and indications of further monetary policy easing. Revived optimism around AI-linked stock trading also added to the rise. The S&P 500 gained 32.40 points or 0.49% to end at 6,604.36 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 160.75 points or 0.72% to 22,631.48. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 172.85 points or 0.37% to 46,315.27.
Insights into world affairs. The United Nations Security Council doesn't adopt a draft resolution to permanently lift sanctions on Iran, but Tehran and key European powers still have time to try and agree to a delay. The 15-member UN Security Council was required to vote on the draft resolution after Britain, France, and Germany launched a 30-day process on the 28th of August to reimpose UN sanctions, accusing Tehran of failing to abide by a 2015 deal with world powers that aim to prevent it from developing a nuclear weapon. Iran denies having any such intention.
Without these most basic conditions being met, there is no clear path to a swift diplomatic solution. We regret that Iran has so far failed to take these steps, and we urge them to act now.
Russia, China, Pakistan, and Algeria voted in favor of the draft text. 9 members voted against and 2 abstained. The Security Council vote has now set up a week of intense diplomacy while world leaders, including Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, are in New York for the annual high-level UN General Assembly.
The divided vote shows there is no consensus in the Council. This decision weakens diplomacy and risks dangerous consequences for non-proliferation.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi will meet with his European counterparts in New York next week on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. Britain, France, and Germany have offered to delay reinstating sanctions for up to 6 months to allow space for talks on a long-term deal on Tehran's nuclear program if Iran restores access for UN nuclear inspectors, addresses concerns about its stock of enriched uranium, and engages in talks with the United States. Any delay on reimposing reimposing sanctions would require a Security Council resolution. If a deal on an extension can't be reached by the end of September 27th, then all UN sanctions will be reimposed. French UN Ambassador Jérôme Bonnafont said that since the 30-day process known as snapback was triggered, the foreign ministers of Germany, France and Britain had met twice with their Iranian counterpart. Separately, Iran's strategic allies Russia and China finalized a draft Security Council resolution late last month that would extend the 2015 deal for 6 months and urge all parties to immediately resume negotiations. But they have not yet asked for a vote. Russia and China, which are also parties to the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, have both rejected the Europeans' bid to reimpose UN sanctions on Iran.
Update on world sports. International Olympic Committee or IOC President Christy Coventry says the Olympic Games must strengthen their role as an event that brings the world together in peace as conflicts around the world escalate.
When asked about Israel's participation in the Games as calls of sanctions grow louder amid the war in Gaza, Coventry said the Games must be a place of peaceful competition. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez said Israel and Russia should be banned from international sports competitions until barbaric acts end, referring to the wars in Ukraine and Gaza. The IOC has banned Russian and Belarusian athletes from competing under their nation's flag at the Olympics following the 2020 Russian invasion of Ukraine.
We stand for our values, and in today's world we believe in those values, and that those values are really important. They're important to be able to share with the world, they're important to spread, they're important to be able to educate, they're important to, at the end of the day, build a better world through sport and to unify people and to break down barriers.
Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have fled Gaza City since the Zionist State of Israel announced on August 10th it intended to take control of Gaza City, while surrounding areas are officially suffering from famine that is expected to worsen. Coventry said the Olympic values are important to, at the end of the day, build a better world through sport and to unify people and to break down barriers. Pro-Palestinian protests have also hit sports events, with the Vuelta a España cycling race stopped last week at the final stage due to demonstrators. Coventry said she was confident athletes and fans would be safe at the Milano Cortina Games starting on February 6, 2026.
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.